Term for belief in the existence of souls. In English, is there a term that would describe the belief souls exist? One method to disable silent updates in Chrome is to manually add the policies to the Windows registry. The Windows registry key responsible for determining how Google Update updates Chrome can be found in the following registry key and value. key_local_machine/software/policies/Google/update 8A69D345D564-463CF1A69D9E530F96. This value can have 4 different word settings assigned to it that describe how Chrome will be updated. These different word values are 0. This setting corresponds to the updates disabled policy setting. This means updates are completely disabled for Chrome. 1. This setting corresponds to the always allow updates policy setting. This means that updates are always installed regardless of whether they were found via periodic silent updates or a manual update check. 2. This setting corresponds to the manual updates only policy setting. This means updates are only applied when a user performs a manual check. 3. This setting corresponds to the automatic silent updates only policy setting. This means updates are only installed when they are found via the periodic silent update check. To change the Google Update setting for Chrome, simply create the above key and value and assign one of the above value. If you don't want to play with registry, then download the following registry files and run them. The first one will enable manual updates and the second one will restore Chrome back to its normal defaults of updates being installed via silent updates or manual updates. Registry file to set Chrome to manual updates only. Registry file to reset Chrome back to its default update policy, manual plus silent updates. Simply download one of the above registry files and save them to your desktop. Then double-click on the registry file and allow the changes to be merged into the registry. The changes to Google Update for Chrome will now be set. For more, you can read this source.
Within philosophy, particularly the philosophy of the mind, it's called dualism, because it's the idea that we are made up of 2 parts, a material body and an immaterial mind, soul. Dualists are contrasted with materialists and idealists, which both have very different meanings in philosophy jargon from their conventional usage. Materialists think the mind is a result of material processes, while idealists think that minds are all that exist, or at least all that we can know to exist, and the material world may well be an illusion. All of this is roughly speaking, of course. Being philosophy, there is more that can be said about it, and much more still which is said about it. The term dualism would not be readily understood that way outside of this context, though.
I would term this animism, which has 3 meanings, all related to a common etymology. OED. Animism, etymology, less than classical Latin anima life, soul philosophy. Any of various theories postulating that an animating principle, as distinct from physical processes, chemical, mechanical, etc., directs the energy that moves living beings and governs their growth and evolution, equals vitalism. An influential version was propounded by the German chemist and physician Georg Ernst Stahl, 1660–1734, and enjoyed a short-lived revival through the writings of the French philosopher Francisque Bouillet, 1813–99. 1871 E. B. Tyler Primitive Culture I. 11. 384 I purpose here, under the name of animism, to investigate the deep-lying doctrine of spiritual beings, which embodies the very essence of spiritualistic as opposed to materialistic philosophy. The sense of spiritualism in the general doctrine of spiritual beings is here given to animism. 2004 Tr. A. Lalonde and N. Gross and Amp. R. A. Jones Durkheim's Philos. Lect. 72. 286 More recently, animism has been revived with more moderation and good sense by Francisque Bouler in a book titled The Vital Principle and the Thinking Soul. 2. The attribution of life and personality, and sometimes a soul, to inanimate objects and natural phenomena, equals animatism. N. 1866 Fort. Rev. 15th of August 84 The theory which endows the phenomena of nature with personal life might be conveniently called animism. 1871 E. B. Tyler Primitive Culture I. 45 The Animism of the Ruder Tribes of India. 1973 JRNL. Genetic Psychol. 123 219 Piaget observed that many pre-adolescent children tend to ascribe life and consciousness to inert objects, a phenomenon that he called animism'. 1999 Piecework November-December 23 Their folk religion was based on animism or the attribution of a spirit or conscious life to material forms. 3. Spiritualism and philosophy. Belief in the existence of a spiritual world, and of soul or spirit apart from matter, spiritualism as opposed to materialism. 1869 Appleton's JRNL. 31st of July 567 1 Animism is the doctrine of all men who believe in active spiritual beings. It is essentially the antagonist of materialism. 1880 J. Ray and Contempt. Rev. October 615 The universality of what Mr. Tyler calls animism, the belief in spiritual and unseen agencies.
The one true word for soul in Greek is souk, and so correct English formations would be psychism and apsychism. It is true that souk could have many meanings, primarily life, ghost, soul, the conscious and feeling self, etc., but it is the most obvious translation, and the only one I can think of that has spiritual connotations.
Having searched further, I found a reference to a soulism, reported to have been formulated by David Weissman and defined as a simple disbelief in the existence of souls based on evidence. However, the term soulism itself appears to be less widely used in its negation. The term partial asoulism also denotes the disbelief in the existence of souls, is however also disbelief in the non-existence of souls, similarly to the term agnostic atheist.
I believe the closest pre-existing term would be vitalism. This URL.
Alles